Hi everyone, this is Dun. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to just introduce my new basketball shoes, or the iconic Allen Iverson Legacy Unisex. Let's check it out. From the boxes, you can see that it's whole red boxes. You can see the iconic logo of Allen Iverson is I, and 33 is Allen Iverson JT's number. And then the most impressive things that I reckon about these boxes is about painting that's demonstrated on this. You can see this lot of old picture from taken by the photographer of Allen Iverson. It's kind of a great basketball court performance, and his tattoo is so original and dope. And then let's check it out the size of it. There's a kind of good point that I want to say about this shoe size, because it's kind of ridiculous. It's just ridiculously big, so you have to go to the store to wear it by yourself so that you can make sure 30% make sure that this shoe is suitable for your foot. You can see that this shoes is USA 9 and UK 8 and Europe 42. But in fact, if you see my last video about KD3 evaluation, I wear 11s USA size 11 of KD 13, but these shoes I only need to wear 9. So this is weird. It's just ridiculous big. So you have to go to the store to check it out. So that you can find it the most suitable one. So let's check out the shoes. Wow! Look at that. It's just the classic white and red. Because this kind of color, white and red, is the iconic or the classic of the Philadelphia 76ers color. And then I want to just a brief introduction of the design of these shoes. It's kind of hybrid shoes, not specific to the kind of answer 1, answer 2, answer 3, answer 4, or the question mile. It's kind of their integration. Integration is just we can take the Air Jordan as an example. Every year, Nike company will always launch a lot of shoes about the hybrid style, because just integrate a lot of like Air Jordan 1, Air Jordan 2 into one shoes. So like the last year, this Reebok company also this is kind of design which kind of great. So this shoes was launched on 1st of April 2019. So it's kind of 1 year after I just make a purchase of the shoes. Because these shoes, I really get it in a really great price. It only cost me like £50, so why not? And I also a fan of Allen Iverson, so I like this kind of shoes toe, because this is the iconic design of the Allen Iverson answer 1. At the same time, you can see these facets of the shoes, lateral side of the shoes. You can see this kind of big logo. It's kind of the rubber, so it's quite resilient to a lot of damage. And then you can see this kind of human-made leather. You can see that this kind of design is really old school, because you can always, although it's kind of new shoes, it's just designed to be like that. It just feel like this shoes has already worn so many years, and its undersole has already oxidized. So it's kind of cool. And then in the medial side of the shoes, you can see this kind of a big signature of Allen Iverson, which is great. And you can also see this kind of like it's really exquisite. Yeah, in a circle, in a half circle. Yeah. As for this side of the shoes, you can see this kind of iconic logo of Allen Iverson, and here this component is really attractive for me, because it just feel like I'm wearing Air Jordan 13 Panda, because this kind of in the Air Jordan 13 it also has this kind of element. It's kind of a panda eye, which is green. It also have this element. It's kind of iconic and heritage design from sneakers company. They all do this kind of design. And then I want to say the most impressive part is the sole, is the undersole of the shoes. So basically, the material used by Reebok company to build up the undersole of the shoes is called, this material is called, the kind of rubber called DMX undersole, and it's quite resistible. Unlike the modern or contemporary basketball shoes, they sometimes like Nike company, in order to make the shoes lighter and lighter, they use kind of a XDR or some kind of resistant to the friction on the ground, something like that. But I like this, it's kind of a classic, iconic, old school one. And it's also, you can see this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is kind of exclusive to the Reebok company, because this kind of, I want to call it as the honeycombed. Honeycombed is just exclusive to the Reebok company, because it's kind of the honey, the bee, just this is the house of the bee. They just enter it and get it out. It is quite inspirational, and sometimes in the midfoot, you can hear this voice. This is the quality. This always reminds me of the carbon fiber, but in fact it's not. But this kind of material has been already proved that it could significantly improve the resilience of the whole shoes. For example, it can avoid your injury, protect your ankle from get injured during the basketball game. Like, you cannot just twitch it easily. It's really hard or even impossible to twitch it. Yeah, like that. I cannot twitch it even though I have exerted a lot of pressure on this. Yeah, and sometimes on the toe of the shoes, you can see that this kind of a human sewed or the machine sewed kind of label here. It says legacy, the strong survival, and is since 1996. Because 1996 is kind of one of the most important timeline for the Allen Iverson. Because at that year is the year that Allen Iverson was picked by the NBA as the first drafter from the Georgetown University, which is my favorite university in the United States. And yeah, because the reason why he said that the strong survival is kind of say that the Allen Iverson devoted all his energy to every single game, including 2000 games against the Los Angeles Lakers, like Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, John Fisher, something like that. At the same time, the Detroit Pistons, which they are both great games, but Allen Iverson has already defeated them in some of the games. Although Allen Iverson didn't get the champion ultimately, but he is still the best play, one of the best player in my mind. Yeah, I already said a lot of great side, a bright side of these shoes. The point that I don't like these shoes is that these shoes is really hard to breathe when your foot is into it and wears it for a long time, because these shoes to show respect to the 90s shoes, the Reebok company used the original material like human-made leather, which means it don't have a little hole, so it's really hard for our foot to breathe when we just wear it for a long time, especially we wear thick socks like Nike Elite socks playing basketball, something like that. So it's not recommended wear these shoes during summertime or during the basketball game, because you have a lot of choice. You can buy Nike, Adidas, Li-Ning. There are a lot of great basketball shoes to wear, and with a relatively great price, you can buy that. But these shoes is more likely for me to buy for my idol, for the Allen Iverson. Just bring my memory back to the 2020, 2000, back to 20 years ago, because it always reminds me a lot of great memory about Allen Iverson. His resilience, his just kind of motto, just never give up, or he don't care whether the opposite team is great. He just devotes 100% his energy to the game. just try his best to win the game, something like that. Yeah, this is this iconic Allen Iverson Legacy unisex shoes, and I highly recommend it. Yes, and that's it. Thank you for watching. I'm looking forward to just see what you think about this, and you can comment below. And thank you for watching. See you next time.